All right, going long on NASDAQ here. We had a close above a 15-minute fair value gap, and then I entered off of a 1-minute fair value gap, and my target was relative equal highs on the 5-minute. You kind of see it on the 1-minute there, but it looks a little cleaner on the 5-minute. Price, after 6 o'clock open, had moved downward, and we had multiple lows that we eventually took out. We had a change in market structure, and I figured that price would want to attack a portion of that gap. So I set my first partial to a little bit above the consequent encroachment of that newly formed new week opening gap. I have a lot going on my screen right now. I have previous and new day opening gaps and new week opening gaps. I'm trying to learn how to set up templates for all that, so I'll have it a little bit more cleaner in due time. Move my stop up a little bit, looking to hit my first partial. All right, first partial taken, risk removed, traders paid. So now I am looking to see if we can reach that buy side liquidity at those relative equal highs. We have a lot of previous new day opening gaps and new week opening gap high and lows all clunched up together. And whenever I see that, I love to see that, because that's just like a black hole for price. It's a magnet for price. Price likes to react and draw to those levels. But what I want to see is, I want to see price keep continuing to push through all of that. My eyes are on the 5-minute. We have I'm cycling through some of the time frames, but we have a 5-minute fair value gap that I'm looking at, that's just below consequent encroachment of that newly formed new week opening gap. So just taking an eye to that, watching that. We also have a small 15-minute gap that's kind of just above us, but just something I was checking out just to keep note of. So now I want price to stay above that consequent encroachment of that new week opening gap. This is the 5-minute fair value gap that I'm annotating. I want that to act as support for us to not revisit that. We have strong displacement here. I really like that. And actually messed up that that's supposed to be a 15-minute fair value gap. I don't know what I was doing there. Yeah, that's supposed to be a 15-minute, so my bad on that. You see me kind of just moving that around. So I'm watching where we close on that 5-minute candle. I want to see a strong close above that previous high to the left. I'm checking the quadrants of that new week opening gap. I don't keep it on the screen just because there's just too much going on the screen. But I just want to have an idea of where we are for the for quadrants. That's my cat. Sorry guys if you hear. We also have a old first presented fair value gap there. It's wedged in between all that mess that I wanted to see it act as support. But ultimately, I'm paying attention to that consequent encroachment. I want to see us draw away from it to the upside. Beautiful displacement there. That's what I like to see. I move my stop to the consequent encroachment of that 5-minute fair value gap. Annotating a bullish order block on the 1 minute. Now here we actually reached, I believe it was a new week opening gap high. So I'm thinking, okay, like we technically reached and closed that gap, so price may want to reverse on me. But I've already taken a partial, and I've locked in. I've moved my stop up to lock in some more profit. So I just want to see if we have enough juice to reach those relative equal highs. I'm now playing with the mean threshold of that order block. I want to see closes above. Move my stop up just a little bit more. Couple of handles below that consequent encroachment of the new week opening gap. There, I'm just about a couple ticks below it. So now I'm seeing that we're beginning to close below the mean threshold of that order block. So that's not what I want to see. So I'm just keeping note of it. That's the first sign of weakness that I'm taking note of. I'm not reacting to it. I'm not getting freaked out by it. I'm just acknowledging that price is starting to show signs of weakness, of reversal, of weakness, of not pushing to my final terminus. So, but again, I've taken a partial. I'm calm, cool, collected. So now I pretty much move my stop right below that consequent encroachment. I like that displacement that we went below the mean threshold of that order block and then had an energetic move up. At this point I'm thinking, okay, this looks really good. Maybe we get one last energetic push up and to take those 5-minute highs. I like the way the 5-minute candle's looking. It's looking strong, energetic. We have two stacked fair value gaps pretty much on that order block, so I like that. And right here I'm like, oh, we got it, we're looking good, but you'll see I move my stop up a little bit more. This is where we actually hit the top of the new week opening gap, and I should have taken note of that beforehand, but I didn't realize it till after the fact. Still having closes above that order block. That's what I like to see. Now, between those two fair value gaps, I'm focused more so on the bottom one because it's above the mean threshold of that order block, and the one above it is not as large. So I'm kind of disregarding that. My focus is on that bottom one. Move my stop up a little bit more. So now I'm moving my stop to the right below the mean threshold of that order block. And I think of that as a nice area of support, and if I get stopped out, then that's fine. Right here, prices did get into that fair value gap that I'm watching. I want us to close above it. This is a good example of multiple PD arrays stacked on top of each other. We have an order block. We have a set of fair value gaps. You know, we're watching the mean threshold of that order block. Especially when you're at this part of the trade where you've already taken a partial. This is a great opportunity for you to tape read and see which PD arrays fail and which ones get respected. And as you trade more and as you gain more experience, you'll be able to decide, okay, like, it's easy for myself to read order blocks or mitigation blocks or inversion fair value gaps and use them as, you know, areas for support while you're mid-trade. So this candle here, we're digging back into that fair value gap. I don't really like that. I don't want us to return to below that order block or reach back into that fair value gap. Being that we had those two, if you look on the 1 minute, we had those two previous wicks into it. So I want that to be the last reach into it, but we're reaching into it again. We get a close below the order block. At this point, I'm pretty certain that there's a good chance I'm going to get stopped out. But again, I'm content with my profit for the trade. I just want to see if we can juice a little bit more out of this trade. We're getting strong displacement here, and probably here to share. And we're finding displacement above this order block. Now I want price to reach up and tag that last limit order, but we eventually reverse here. I don't like how we're just kind of hanging around at this point in the trade. I want us to have, especially since we were only a couple of handles away. This is where I hope to, you know, when I start to notice these things, I can just exit the trade. But I think as of right now, it's good for just watching tape. All right, and we're stopped out.